July 2018, a group of consumer advocates banded together to form the American Policyholder Association, a nonprofit watchdog organization that promotes integrity, honesty, and best practices in insurance property loss adjustment. The APA focuses on the need for prosecution of insurer fraud against consumers and board complaints against licensed professionals for the unethical conduct of their profession.
I've got 2 little kids that are 9 and 12 that they need a home. They need somewhere to live, right? And then I started realizing how alone we were and how nothing was gonna get fixed. And the longer time went on and the savings started straining out, how do you pay them? Are we really gonna lose the house in foreclosure because we're getting screwed by an insurance company?
Bob Cable told Sharon Alfonsi on 60 Minutes that his house in Long Beach, New York was knocked off its foundation and condemned. But the insurance company's engineering report concluded there was no structural damage.
I'm like, what do you mean there's no structural damage? The house is not what it was before.
That's nothing in comparison to what the damage the insurance companies do. They just cause way too much. The anguish, the frustration, everything. Every bit of the step of the way, the hurricane was child's play compared to what the insurance companies are doing to people.
This was our master bedroom.
What was once the Clifford family's home is now an unlivable maze of studs.
This home is uninhabitable right now. Absolutely. For how long? Until we can fix it.
They say the roof was damaged, the floors and ceilings soaked. But the Cliffords thought they were relatively lucky. Then they say 9-year-old Sheila started getting sick.
When was the moment you realized you couldn't live here anymore? The moment they told me that there was mold in my daughter's rooms and it wasn't safe for them to stay there anymore.
An adjuster the Cliffords hired estimates there's more than $400,000 worth of damage.
They sent a check for, I think after deductible, about $4,800.
Is $4,800 going to cut it?
No. Close? Not at all.
The company sent a letter saying the damage is not covered because it could have occurred from wind-driven rain or elevated flood levels. The Cliffords are now suing the insurance company, which told NBC News they were unable to comment further due to the ongoing litigation.
How would you rank the insurance response to this storm? Absolutely garbage.
Terrible.
8 months after Hurricane Ian, destruction is still a common sight here. Many homeowners blame insurance companies, saying payouts have been slow and insufficient. And now Florida's Department of Financial Services is investigating possible fraud after several independent adjusters came forward alleging their work had been manipulated to pay policyholders less.
Leaving parts of North Dallas still looking like a disaster area.
It's still a war zone. It's just a hot mess. I think it's a game of see how much they can, they can get people to say yes.
This is a shell of our beautiful home last year after the hurricane.
A shell of wooden studs is what's left of Sherry and Jim McBride's dream retirement home in Port Charlotte, Florida.
We are in our 70s. He's a Vietnam veteran, and we're hurting right now.
Hurricane Ian separated the back wall from their home, ripped up the roof, and drenched everything inside.
Blew in with such a powerful suction that everything got wet. Anything that was in here was damaged. They had to totally gut it.
7 months later, the couple tells me they've only received enough money from their insurance company, American Integrity, to replace the roof and a temporary back wall. Even after hiring a public adjuster for help with their claim, they say they're still pleading with their insurance to help make their home livable.
They wanted to pay us pennies on the dollar. We're not rich. We could never rebuild our house like it was before. It's going to be $220 that we need, and that's what the contractor said. And the cost of everything has been going up. What are we going to do?
And even the governor confirming criminal investigations are now underway. Southwest Florida homeowners sounding the alarm.
Now that we need it, we have not got hardly anything.
Their insurance companies weren't paying up.
As of March 29th, I would no longer have insurance.
Their rates skyrocketing.
I already can't afford it, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Even lawmakers getting dropped.
They're canceling my policy.
You look at the house and there's not much question what it is. It's a total loss.
40 phone calls later, Cable was finally granted a re-inspection by the same engineer.
I said, George, how could you write a report like that? He goes, it's not my report.
His report, they discovered, had been altered. Engineer Andrew Brom, who works at a different company, says the same thing happened to him.
175 of your reports were doctored?
Correct. They were altered.
And the ones that weren't changed?
The ones that weren't changed, interestingly, were ones where I recommended that no repairs are required.
It took 3.5 years in total for us to finally move home, and in that time, we were broken in ways I can't even begin to explain, but I'll try because I was so riddled with like anxiety and depression that I couldn't even go to the grocery store. Like regular stuff, I just could not do. It was so hard because this was our whole lives.